this.
Yeah,
I'm not disabled. I know this.
No, I'm talking.
But she's referencing her disability.
I wonder when I lose all the weight that I'm trying to lose, if that'll happen. Because it has, at least for me, naturally still made my skin tight.
We're not trying to determine the truth of the matter.
Yeah, I didn't lie.
Just if you said it or not.
Yeah.
Divorce. Disabled. I know this.
Yeah,
I'm not disabled.
Yeah.
I know that.
No, I'm
But
talking.
she's referencing disability. That's how she knows it, not because she's been divorced.
Yeah, because I'm in disability groups and women of they have this issue. No.
That's the point.
The other one.
I haven't lost that much. I have went from 370 to like 240 and then gained back like 30 pounds.
Wow, that was really cool. Thank you for that, Brian, Alice. I guess me. Okay, so we're gonna do some things from the questionnaire here. Also, you know what? Let's do a roast session. We're gonna do a roast session. We are going to do it's gonna be a $29 roast session. If you guys want to get them in, I'm gonna get that all set up here. Just a moment. While we're doing that, though, we do a segment called makeup removal. Is you guys willing to take your makeup off?
I would if I didn't currently.
These are honest.
No,
makeup.
they're very ugly.
Are you willing to take it off?
No.
Are you willing to take your makeup off?
I'm not really wearing much, so.
Are you willing to take your makeup off? Willing to? No. Okay.
Listen, I have if y'all are gonna judge me on the giant marks on my face.
Tell us less.
No, it's a motel, so.
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up. It sucks, especially after being in the motels. Yeah.
Also,
I'll take it off if you're not gonna make fun of me for having a rash on my face.
yes, you lose if you sacrifice the king to save the queen. Just saying.
Lucky for you, I don't play chess.
I'm gonna get.
I kind of fell off the wagon the last few months, though.
Believe in you. Well, thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Let's see what we covered a lot of things. Right. So let's talk about. For you. So we were discussing marriage, right? So I'm actually not clear on what you said. So we were talking about the fact that you're a Christian, right? But you're not saying you're going to wait till marriage necessarily. That's not actually what you're saying, right?
Yeah, you're right. I didn't say it in exact words. I said I would love for that to be the case, but I'm scared to say that to a man because I'm worried that they're not going to pursue anything with me because they will not be willing.
Yeah, that's what I was after, right? I should have written that down. So anyway, isn't that catfishing?
What sense?
Well, so because you actually do in fact want to wait until you're married, right? But you are in fact not telling them that because you want to attract them in. You're afraid that that's going to scare them off.
Necessarily, because when I have that initial conversation with them, like I said, like very soon, I mean, like in a matter of a day or two of talking to them, like I'll make that very apparent. I'm not in it for.
Yeah, but it already brought them in. That's what the catfish is, right? The idea of the catfish is I bring you in under false pretenses in the hopes that you'll like me, even though it's under false pretenses, right? That's what catfishing actually is.
I mean, I never.
I'm 6 feet tall.
My standards, I feel like that's too high for me to even want for myself. Shit. Y'all are genuinely in love with each other for who y'all are. Traffic to long time till we even get to that point in the back. More than ever, I wish I said like. And it just, that's not what I want. I don't want that. I would go. That fit the criteria that I have, the bare minimum that I have.
Well, how long are you wanting to wait?
I don't want to wait till I'm 40, 50 to get married. Like,
how long do you want to wait?
So, I mean, there's no timeline, I guess you could say. I mean, I don't want to wait that long. Like, and the older I get, I feel like
I guess
the
I'm
less
asking, when would you get married in your 20s? Next year?
I mean, best case scenario, I'd get married in 2 years, but I mean, I'm not planning for that. I mean, if I find someone and I'm not that person that's going to get married after a couple months, you know, I want to make sure that he's the one. That's how you truly find out, you know, all their flaws and you accept them for who they are and all that stuff. Like, it's going to take time. But if I mean, I'm not openly searching for a relationship. If it happens, it happens. And that's why I'm allowing myself to go out on dates and open up to men like that, because I'll never know if there's something there. Whether I'm attracted to them or not, I'm still giving them a chance.
Is Christianity a requirement for your dating?
Yes.
What, does it have to be a specific denomination?
Mm-mm. But I feel like a relationship is around God, and I 100%, like, I want someone who can go to church with me and truly listen to his word and not be a man. How I said it's so hard. Men can be Christians all they want to, but they don't follow. They don't even try and practice. It's okay to be sinful. We are all sinful people. But they don't try to change. They don't try to fix their imperfections. They don't try to do anything about it. They're still going to keep committing the sexual sins that they've been committing since day one.
Fire.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you rigorously.
Yeah.
It's just the case, right? So I guess I'm just curious. So you do put that out there, other than want to wait till marriage in hopes that you go on a date, he really likes you, and then you can spill the beans there, and you hope he sticks around, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think that if he came in and then he told him that on the date, that he would feel like he got catfished?
No, because I'm not going to like, I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm not looking for hookups, but I'm actually very.
But where are you texting him at? Like dating profile?
A week, and the first day I met him, I literally told him, like, I opened myself up, not as a with him, but we just ended up getting a conversation. I was very open about it.
You have to move on, sure, but rooted to the questionnaire. Andrea, you said that you disagree a man dating a transgender woman is not straight. You disagree? Why is that?
Wait, let's read that.
Am I please?
Wait, sorry, I misunderstood that. A man dating a transgender woman is not straight.
So, no. Here's the statement that you disagree with. A man dating a transgender woman, not straight. You disagree with that. So you think it's straight for a man to date a transgender woman?
I wouldn't say so because they're transgender. Like they
so
they got surgery and everything.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
sure.
They are straight then. It's like no, they had surgery to get a vagina.
Not a vagina. Not a.
Yeah,
Have you seen a vagina?
let's say there's two gay dudes, and one is in a terrible accident where it smashes his genitals and like leaves some kind of wound there. His partner like goes through with that. Is he then straight?
Wait, his partner. Oh, if that happened, I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't like that. They would want.
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't, but if they did, would that be straight of them to do?
Well, I mean, he didn't want to be transgender, so I mean, they're still gay because he didn't.
Okay, so
He didn't transition.
right.
You know?
So then the sexual identity is just based on, or the idea of straight or gay is just based on what you feel like, not the biological act.
But they are taking like medication, you know, like
Sure.
estrogen and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, to look like to appear as a woman.
The penises, right?
But it's turned into like they have to use like the dilators, you know, to
On their arm.
They did it what?
On their arm. Like they made the neo vagina on their arm instead of where their genitals were, and that's what you use. Like, why is the position of where the vagina is the important part?
Wait, they don't do that though.
What if they did?
Well, this is a completely different question.
I don't see how it's different. Like, it's what you're saying. Well, I'll explain. It's just what you're saying to me. Like, if a dude cuts off his penis and then dresses like a woman and then takes hormones who have the appearance, everybody, of being a woman, right? Then why would it matter if their vagina was on their arm instead of like in this region? Why is it in region important? Why is that specifically important? I don't get it.
It's like that doesn't make any sense.
Why doesn't it make sense? Because you could put a wound that you have to dilate any place on the body.
They're dilating their vagina to, you know, like stretch it to.
Well, they're dilating an open wound. It's literally an open wound. That's what it is.
Not an open wound because they don't heal.
It doesn't heal.
Yes.
In fact, that's why they're dilating it, so it never heals. It's like gauges in the ear. Have you ever seen giant holes in their ear?
Yeah.
They're dilating them. Why?
Yeah,
so that they don't close.
I've seen that when they take it out, it's like just there already.
They don't close after.
No, after a while, you stretch them out so wide they don't ever close up.
Well, yeah, you have to stretch it. Oh, I don't know. Well,
it's the same thing with that. It's the same exact concept.
Dilate it. I don't know if they have to dilate them for the rest of their lives.
Some of them do, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
It's your body's trying to heal, so it's trying to close the wound down.
As often, but I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't consider the if still if he was with a transgender.
Okay. Do they need to have the bottom surgery? I don't want to suck his girlfriend's dick, and he's straight.
It'll have to be tomorrow.
Oh, like, I don't know. Maybe if they do acts, you know, like where he's like sucking her dick or something.
Does that even sound correct? He's sucking her, like that. Does that even sound right? Or doesn't that sound like a little bit like, there's another group of guys who do that called gay guys?
Honestly, like, To me, I'm not a person to be like, oh my god, you have a dick, like you're a male. Like if a guy wants to transition, he dresses like a girl, looks like, well, they look like a girl, dress like a girl, but they have like male genitals. Like I'll still call them, she. If they want to be called she, her, I'll still call them that. Like it doesn't bug me.
I get that you'll use the pronouns that they want because you don't want to be rude, right?
Yeah, I just.
But
it
does that
doesn't
mean in
bug
your
me.
brain, though, you actually think, in fact, that this is a man or this is a woman?
No, because they don't appear as the man. So I wouldn't.
What about the ones who are really trying to appear as the thing? Hell.
Well, that's probably because they took their medicine like way too late in life.
Sure.
Um,
Is that still a girl?
honestly, if they're dressing up like a girl and they like really want to be a girl, like I'll say they're a girl.
So then your position basically is this, that if a dude puts on a wig and has a beard, right, and then has sex with another dude who puts on a wig and has a beard, they're not gay.
Well, well, I don't know. Are they like
they definitely want no, they definitely want to be women. They definitely want to be women.
They want to be.
They definitely want to, but they in fact are not. They definitely do want to though.
But like they still are growing out. Well, I mean, I guess.
Well, they can't help it. They can't. They want to not, but they can't help but grow beard. Like they can't help it. They want to not. Like just there's some women out there, same thing. They don't want facial hair, but they can't. Like they can only do so much about it.
Yeah, you see women with facial hair too.
Sure.
So you would consider them. You're not gonna be like you're a man because you have facial hair.
No, I would just be like, well, if you have a penis, you're a man, because I'm not insane. But when I'm looking at the idea from you, you're basically just telling me that if two guys put on wigs and had beards and went at it, that's not gay because they both want to be women. That's a super weird position to me. Gay? Like I don't even get that. It's never made any sense to me.
Person because they are trans. But you said you disagree with that. You think it's like, not acceptable.
Wait.
Okay, so I'll make it super simple. I would not want to date a trans person.
Okay.
Is that
do I agree
wrong?
with that? That's your preference.
Is it wrong though?
I can't say if it's wrong or right. It's literally your preference. Like it's there's literally no right or wrong to a preference.
What if it's the case that Brian wanted to date trans people, but didn't, right? Because he just thinks it's gross. Anyway, but he kind of wants to, but he doesn't, right? And he has like, let's say it's religion. He's like, no, I'm going to appeal to my religion. That's his preference. Is that wrong?
Honestly, like
This is getting Brian back for the fucking pineapple pizza. I
literally can't tell you if it's like right or wrong because
it's just a preference.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's consistent. Like yeah, so
if you don't want to, you don't have to. But like I don't know. What I think, like I don't know, if you're attracted to that person, like just go for it. You know.
Here, I'm going to blast through some of the other things here, Andrea.
But if you don't,
I just have one follow up very quickly. But what if a trans person went to Brian and said, "I'd like to date you," and Brian went and asked as his preference to go, "Oh God, gross, yuck." Is that okay too?
No, that reaction.
Oh, okay.
Is not
well, then I guess it's not.
the reaction is not okay.
Honestly, I would take a bullet for a lot of people, but I would 100% take a bullet for my significant other, whether they wouldn't want me to or not. I would still expect them to offer or try and like push me out of the way, defend me as someone who I am submissive to a man. I want them to defend me in any way that they can, but I would do the same just because that's the type of person I am. I would 100% take
Yeah, I
it
don't think
person.
men should take the bullet for the woman.
I think that they should. I wouldn't say necessarily
What
take a
about the
bullet.
wife?
Yeah.
Wife?
Not for the wife either? No.
No, I'm not taking the bullet.
But do you believe in a man defending a woman, like
I
standing up for
wouldn't
them in a
just
fight?
look. The assessment here is in a situation where somebody has to die, I'm not taking the bullet. But
Well, you could get beaten to death in a fight.
But you would for your kids, if I remember right.
yes,
Yes. Okay.
it's likely. Is it my daughter or son?
It's your son.
It's my son. Yes,
Definitely.
But like
He didn't say that. He was joking.
But the this idea that would I like if there was a home invasion? Yeah, the person who's invading the home can get dead. Like I'm gonna defend my family.
Yeah.
But in some scenario where it's like the Grim Reaper, it's like you or your wife, you can take the wife.
You would push your wife. I mean, you'd be like, take the wife. I would take myself.
Wait, why?
I'm on Genghis Khan shit, sort of.
Okay.
Like, why is the man? This is a generation of women who are the least submissive, the most promiscuous, the most involved in sex work, the most liberal, the most progressive, the most just
Sexually confused.
the most everything counter to chivalry, and you want me to take the bullet. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Maybe you can. When? How about this? Men should take the bullet. Women should remain virgins until they meet their guy, and they stay with them indefinitely.
Sure, but you can't use that.
You're not a
position.
virgin. Not a virgin. Oh wait,
I am a virgin.
she is a virgin. My bad. I was going to do my thing, but you are a virgin. Not a virgin. Not a virgin. Not a virgin.
But how can you make that play? I mean, you're not a virgin. But it's your wife.
Exactly. I'm not a virgin. So.
Yeah. But you're using that claim as women should stay virgins, all that stuff. Well, I also think that that's counteractive. How men can have high body counts and look for a lower body count women. But we're not talking about random women. We're talking about your wife.
I don't even understand what you're arguing. So, like, look, I'll explain. Let's say Brian, his wife, the Grim Reaper does show up. He's taking one of them. Let's say in this hypothetical scenario, and it's 10 years younger, it's you and him. You're married in this configuration, right? What do you tell the Grim Reaper?
Take me.
Okay, and so Brian says, take you. So I don't understand what's the problem then?
I would 100% allow.
Well, how do you come to the conclusion then as to who the Grim Reaper takes?
I would say me hope that my husband would.
Right. So secretly, you're saying one thing when you actually want the other thing. Yes.
Or not the excuse, but he uses the argument that he listed everything that a woman should be. But in the context of that, we're talking about your wife. We're not talking about a random woman who's promiscuous who.
Yeah, but think about it logically. Like, here's the logical. That's what we're doing. We're trying to figure it out logically, right?
Yeah.
If your claim is, I would want it to be me, and Brian's like, good, okay, it's you, and you're like, but wait, I actually want it to be you. You're contradicting yourself.
No, I would want it to be me, and I would let it be me. But I think it's the act of showing that he wants to defend me. Him wanting to stand up for me.
So then, how do we decide who goes?
I would allow it to be me.
Right. So all roads lead back to, if you really would take the bullet, right?
Yeah.
The Grim Reaper is now here. You can't get mad because he's like, all right, then.
I would never be mad.
Right.
It's the action of showing him defending me. I think that is all I ask for. Him standing up for me is just what I ask for. But I would.
Yeah, but
ultimately.
Would you rather date a guy who's honest, or a guy who virtue signals? A guy who virtue signals. Oh yeah, I would take the bullet, and then he actually wouldn't take the bullet. Like, at least with me, you know what you're getting. A lot of guys talk a big game about, like, oh, I would sacrifice my life for my, especially these player dudes. Like Andrew Tate says this. I would sacrifice my life for one of my Romanian OF girlfriends. Get the fuck out of here. Andrew Tate is not sacrificing his life to defend one of his Romanian star girlfriends. That's absolutely ridiculous. And these men who virtue signal, oh, it's man's duty. It's fucking bullshit. It's virtue signaling and it's total fucking coke.
We're not talking about a just random girlfriend that you have. We're talking about your wife. We're talking about someone who's been submissive to you, someone who would bow to you, someone who would be there for you, provide for your family,
Yeah, I can just get another wife. Whatever.
Just to add to that, so if she doesn't fall into that category of reasons why you wouldn't take a bullet for her, if she doesn't fall into those categories, you still wouldn't do it
at all. Like, I don't care how amazing she is. If you were to tell me, Brian, I'm willing. I think the frame. The condition is, you can have the perfect woman, but 5 years from now, you have to die for her. There is no woman of any value in the world that is worth dying for. Ergo, I would just not blanketly die for any woman, or even the perfect woman. Reality is, I'm not going to get the most idealistic woman. Even if I could, I wouldn't die for her, but I'm certainly not dying for the girl that is like great and everything, but is she a supermodel? Is she a virgin? Is like every single like trait and characteristic I want in a woman? Wouldn't even die for her, the perfect woman.
would you push a woman out of the way of a car? I mean, would you, like we talked about walking on the outside? Yeah. I mean, there's little things like that.
Side of the street. Or like the closer to the street.
So you're pretty consistent.
Well, okay, but
you putting yourself into that position of.
So I have one for you. So somebody else's kid is drowning.
Yeah.
You going in?
What is the outcome?
In a whirlpool.
Well, you don't know.
Is this
the outcome is you could die, you may not. It's like 5.
Oh, easy. Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh.
So you do it for a stranger.
But hold on. Well, hold on.
But not a woman, you're like, survive it.
In my rescuing Sir, if I know how to swim. But like, if it was an adult, and here's the thing, you probably know this with drowning. If
they try to pull you down, yeah.
They'll pull you down.
Yeah.
So like, with a kid, I think I'd be okay. An adult, they could die.
Did you say you would or you wouldn't take a bullet for your child?
No, he said he would for his.
I would.
For a boy.
For the kid.
Not a girl.
Not for a little girl?
No.
I'll do it for both.
Okay, good.
Although, couldn't I just forward the same argument? Like, I can have more kids. I know that sounds terrible.
But you do need additional wombs.
Additional wounds.
Unless
More kids.
more business.
The kid, I can lose the wife.
Possibly, yes. But
Yeah,
then,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. Shit, I gotta do a little more work, but
A little more.
it's okay.
Just some stuff and some things.
If I was coming from the man's perspective, he's the one providing too. So I would sacrifice myself because my man's the one providing for our family as well. So that's another reason why I take the bullet.
But men are supposed to be protectors. So
Women are supposed to be virgins, but I feel like this doesn't work on you because you're a
it
virgin.
doesn't work on me, and I
so
agree.
she is a virgin. But, I mean, yeah, men are supposed to. What degree? Like, for example, let's say you're dating a guy. Would you want your man to protect another, like, non-familial stranger in a situation where it's like, whoa, this is, like, really unjust. They're being, like, they're being robbed. Would you want your man, let's say you have kids, to step in and intervene at risk of life and limb to him, knowing you have children to take care of and you love your husband?
No. I think his job is to protect me and our family.
So that bitch can burn.
I mean, if there was a situation where, say, that woman was by herself and he had the opportunity to protect her as a good civilian, then I would agree. I mean, I would hope that he would survive it, but I would think it's noble for him to help.
Sarah, the statement is as follows: possible to be racist towards white people. You disagree. Why is that?
I would say because racism is systemic. And so I do believe you can be prejudiced towards white people or other people who have not had the systemic racism. But I believe using that specific word implies
You define racism as what?
it is prejudice for sure.
But how do you define racism?
Racism is the systemic of a certain of people.
It's overrated.
Prejudice plus power.
I have heard that before.
Is that, would you adhere to that definition of racism?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so like a black person cannot be racist towards a white person. Prejudice, but not racist.
Yeah.
Oh, so the Broncos still won?
Yeah, by that definition.
You would agree with that. You speak like that way. You're right, I guess.
You would agree with that? That like blacks could be racist towards Native Americans?
By that. That's a hard question. I haven't thought about that. I know that Indians or Native Americans have systemically. I don't think it was black people who were oppressing them.
Yeah, bro, I had to tell him, like, nigga, you need to stop complaining, bro, because you in the chat tagging me, and you like, yo, tell him stop doing that. He's running the clock. Sending me paragraphs, sending me voice messages, like, yo, he's running the clock. I'm like, bro, as a commissioner, I can't sit there and tell him, yo, don't do that. Nigga, he's trying to win the game. He's going to run the clock, bro. Stop complaining and play your game, bro. My boy kind of got mad, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't go Karen mode, though.
Specifically.
Well, I don't oppress black people.
Right. I'm not.
There's systems that do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so as long as black people have been part of the participating system, then they have been participating in the system of oppression towards Native Americans, right? Who have their own sovereign land, sovereign everything.
Perhaps that one's something I would have to do a little bit more research on to really have a good, solid opinion.
Be racist towards black people.
I believe so.
Can black people be racist towards Asians?
I believe they can be prejudiced towards them.
Okay, what about Hispanics?
I think prejudice.
Okay, so the only group that you could think of that blacks could be racist towards would be Native Americans because of the systemic oppression towards that single group.
Well, like I said, I would have to just do a little bit more research to have a better opinion on that.
I'm not saying they are.
Yeah.
I'm just asking if that's in the realm of possibility.
Possibly.
Okay, so, but that's the only group possibly that's even equatable to.
Possibly.
Okay.
And then you also on this, you think it's you disagree that it's possible to be racist towards white people.
I disagree. Yeah, coming from.
Answer the mic, please.
Coming from a perspective of a person who has had to deal with racism my entire life, the way that they deal with it compared to with it as in racism, it's more of a joking matter or a retaliation rather to people going out of their way to be racist towards Black people, rather than white people are usually called to them being racist.
Conceivably, though, could there be a scenario where a Black person could be racist towards a white person?
Prejudice.
Here, I'll give my example that I tend to give on this one, then we're going to move on to the next thing. Let's see here. How do I want to frame this? Okay, Barack Obama, he refuses to hire a white janitor because the janitor is white. Is that racism?
I think that's a prejudice against white people. But has that happened systemically towards white people?
It could be on that smaller scale, or it could be like let's say he passed, like he did an executive order saying white people have less of a vote than Black people.
So
their vote is worth like 2/3 that of a Black person's vote.
Is there a history of white people, of Black people enslaving white people? Because I believe that would make it racism.
Not in the United States, but in other regions of the world, yes.
I don't know about those other regions of the world, but since we are talking about,
that was Black people. No, but I'm saying white people were enslaved.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know Black. Yeah,
but I was asking
more precise.
Yeah, I was asking if Black people ever enslaved white people systemically, and that isn't the case.
But I'm confused here because if racism equals prejudice plus power, so Barack Obama, President of the United States, the most powerful country in the world, he has systemic power over the executive branch of the government, which is a system. So systemically, this would meet your definition of racism. Prejudice plus power equals racism. He has power. Is your assertion that Barack Obama, when he was president, didn't have power?
No, I believe he did have power, but I also didn't
Perhaps the most powerful person in the world, and then he did something that was prejudice. Would have to concede that would be racist, though.
So I actually didn't give that definition, but if that was the definition of racism, then I would have to concede and say yes.
Okay, so you're saying there has to be a historical component of systemic Black prejudice towards white people.
I would
systemic level, so it has to be historical too.
I believe, like, if we're going to use the word racism, then I do believe so. But I do believe you can have a prejudice towards people of a different race, of a different culture, of, disability. I do believe you can be prejudiced.
Yeah, I just reject your definition. Even granting this super charitable one of racism equals prejudice with power, the example I provided, it meets that. Now you want to throw on, but there has to be a historical component too.
So do you believe that, that the same impression that Black people have had throughout history is the same as that scenario that you just gave where Obama didn't hire the janitor because he was white?
No, I didn't say that at all.
I also don't think it's a rational definition. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
To Steelman it. It's just that there's been systemic, meaning the powers that be, government powers, government forces have historically oppressed Black people. There's no doubt that is the case. Leading into modernity, and because that history is there, plus the systemic oppression, now, racism has to be geared towards the system, towards a specific group.
So do you not believe that the word racism is systemic or no?
No, well, I'm willing to grant it. I just want to make sure that I'm correct about how you see it.
I'm trying to follow.
Yeah, so the system oppresses, right?
Yes.
And historically, the system has oppressed.
Yes.
And those are the necessary preconditions for racism. Otherwise, it's prejudice.
I believe so.
Okay, got it. So then, if that's the case, the individual can't do very much about systemic oppression. And the individual can't do much about being systemically oppressed. Like you, the individual, can't do very much about being systemically oppressed, and I, the individual, can't do much about systemically you being oppressed, right?
Correct.
So then I don't understand that. It sounds to me like you can make the argument that systems can be racist. But at the individual level, if I can't participate in the system of oppression, nor can you participate in the system of being oppressed, why is it that my prejudice towards you or your prejudice towards me couldn't be racist? Or you could only be prejudiced towards me, the individual.
I mean, we can equally be prejudiced. I do believe that. But I believe that, I do believe that semantics matter. And I believe that.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when we use the word racism, that has a definition. So
yeah, but you're applying it to a system, not individuals.
Right.
Yeah, so if an individual, so like, if I called a black person the N-word, or a black person called me the C-word, right? Let's say two racial categories. You may not consider those equivalent insults, right?
Yeah.
But you'd have to consider them both to be racial slurs, right? My argument to you for systemic racism would just be this. The system's not doing that. There's no system there which is being applied to force you to call me this, nor me call you that. So if that's the case, then I'm not a part of oppression, nor are you a part of being oppressed.
What are you talking about?
Or just me being prejudiced towards you. In other words, why isn't just the individual, if they say the N-word, why are they just not prejudiced instead of racist?
Feel comfortable saying that or calling them. So I guess then that goes back to did we
Let's just say that they just stay. There's two different podcasts and they're on like some or something like this. One's black who says the C word all the time. One is white who says the N word all the time. The white guy's not part of any system of oppression. He's not part of any governmental system which is designed to oppress